Hi, my name is Kate, and I'm also known as Two Little Kits on the internet. Welcome to my 18th FlossTube. I may have to split this up and record this over a couple of days, so I might do an outfit change because it's been a really busy day. I'm hoping to get it all done. I don't think I've got a lot to talk about, but we'll see what happens. So let's get started. I'm gonna dive right into finished pieces because I'm super excited about sharing this piece. I completed the back-facing wedding gift of an engagement photo piece that I shared that I was working on last FlossTube. So this is it. So I'm super happy with how this has come out. The hair, I had much bigger thoughts about how it would turn out, and I realized when I was trimming it down that it would work the way I imagined it if it was on a bigger person. But because it's a Stitch People person, I was constrained with the size of the person, so you can kind of see the 3D effect of the hair on the side. But otherwise, yeah, I'm very pleased with it. This is the back. I was going to get it in the mail yesterday, but my customer reached out to me because she realized I lived in Washington, and she is going to the wedding in question because, as you can see, I'm recording this on the 4th, and as you can see on the date, the wedding's tomorrow, and it happens to be in Washington. So she's flying in to the state, and we're going to try and organize meeting up so that way she can actually see the piece, which would be cool. Otherwise, I would be mailing it directly to the couple. So hopefully that works out. And I've only ever hand delivered one piece before, and it was really nice to get the feedback directly about how much they liked it. So I do hope I can give it to her, and I will give her like a box and stuff like that to wrap it so that it looks nice. But yeah, so that's that piece. That is my only finished piece for the week, which is fine. I do have 2 finished patterns that I have put on my website in the last 2 weeks. Those are koi pond, which I got one of my test stitches to do, and the other one is in support of Ukraine. I'm not going to go into what's going on over in Ukraine at the moment because that would be a whole video in of itself. But in support of Ukraine, I made another pattern called Sunflower Seeds. That one doesn't have a test stitch. I am kind of hoping that the multitude of people that downloaded it, because it's a free pattern, but the multitude of people that downloaded it, maybe someone might be willing to take some photos for me, and then I could tag them, obviously, and give them a shout out on my website, but use their photos of the finished piece on my site. That would be cool, but I don't expect anyone to do that. But so those are the 2 patterns. As I said, they're available on my website right now. And yeah, the sunflower seed one was very quick. I had the urge one evening to do something that was outside of just donating money to worthy causes to help Ukraine, and I make patterns, so it felt like a logical step. Let me know if you did download it, or if you will download it. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear. Moving on to works in progress, I have a few. One of them I can't find, and I'll be honest, I haven't looked very hard. I think it's in my car. I hope it's in my car. But it's the ornament that I've been working on. That one's coming along great, but basically the cross-stitching part of it is all done. I gotta do hair, I gotta do the decoration, and I think that's pretty much it. And then obviously I've gotta wash it and frame it, and I'm going to be sending it, as I talked last video, via a different shipping company that isn't USPS, and there's not really a rush on that because my customer is understanding about the situation and what's happened, and it's only March, so it's a Christmas ornament, like, you know. Anyway, so I am hoping to get that done before next FlossTube, definitely, but within the next week or so. That would be awesome. But otherwise, yeah, that one's coming along awesome. And I'm still trying not to think about the fact that another one of my pieces just magically disappeared into nothing. I'd love to know what happened. The next work in progress I have is obviously Pretty Little LA. So I talked about the fact that while I was streaming 2 weeks ago, I realized that I had misplotted my grid. I'm happy to say I've caught up on where I was with that point, and I'm like well past it now. I've finished 6 of the colors and I've grabbed the next 6 colors. So these are the next 6 colors. The next one is this crazy orange, so that should be interesting. I don't know if, it's hard to know how much of it is on, sorry, I should rephrase that. It's hard to know how much of each color there is, just because this pattern doesn't tell me how many stitches or an estimated amount of skein used or anything like that, unlike the Sydney pattern had. So these 6 stitches could just be like nothing, you know? We'll see. I'm still enjoying it. I did buy some new needles. I got some size 28 needles because it was really bothering me. The size 26 was like opening up all of the Ada holes, which you can kind of see around the edge of the mountain, the color green that I had to redo. I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well on there, but it's quite noticeable. It should disappear when I wash it though, so fingers crossed for that. It's not a big deal. It's not like I'm gonna scrap this and remake it again to fix that, but it would just be nice. So yeah, I did get some new needles, which is helpful because that's done on 18 count. That's why it's much smaller. So all the needles I had were better for 14 count because the 28 count needles are obviously super tiny and I'm prone to snapping needles. It's just because I lick my floss. The other works in progress I have are the 2 patterns that I designed on my stream last night. I will edit the video and show you them properly, but this one is a teacher gift for my daughter, well, from my daughter, because her kindergarten teacher is going on maternity leave in less than 3 weeks, and I don't want her to miss out on a thank you gift, because normally I would do all these teacher gifts for Teacher Appreciation Week in May, but she's gonna be a bit busy and a bit indisposed of, so I made that. I do need to make one tiny adjustment, just like scribble on the pattern itself, but that's not a problem. I did already have to write myself a note because I didn't align this into the center. So that's okay, this is just for me. So. And the other one I have is my 4,000 follower giveaway winner. So this is what I will be stitching for them. I am considering, so this is a bit of a tangent, but I am considering doing some kind of very minor floral detailing on this one. So like a thing over the top, because I want to encourage more customers to have those kind of extra decorations. It is nice to have a portrait that has nothing extra and it just focuses on the people themselves. I really like adding those little details. So I'm, yeah, gonna use this opportunity to not do anything crazy, like just something small, and that only takes upwards of an hour at most to do. This was fun to design last night. You can watch my stream of it on my YouTube channel. I think it was stream number 33, but it was yesterday, so it was March 3rd. And yeah, so that's that one. That one's gonna sit in a 5-inch hoop. And that'll be good. I got to collect all the flosses today so that I can start, at least this one, all the flosses for this one, so I can start stitching it today because my daughter has her like regular occupational therapy and stuff like that. And I'll be stuck in the car for almost 2 hours. So it's the perfect opportunity. So that'll be good. And I don't think I've got anything else in the works, which is perfectly fine. I do have a lot of ideas. I feel like I'm starting to get that creative flow back a little bit. I have, I think doing the sunflower seed piece really helped with that, because I forced myself to get something online that people could use in a therapeutic way, that they could feel like they're showing support in some way. But anyway, that helped me, find some kind of creative juices again, which I hope to find time soon to knead out a little bit and expand on. But I have like so many ideas for patterns. So like all of this page is pattern ideas. This is sampler notes. That's the other thing I've got. I do have, but I haven't worked on it in the last 2 weeks. I haven't worked on it in ages. I do have a sampler pattern that is super close to being finished for the TV show The Office. It's been on my website on the whips page that I have, that anyone can go and see as a piece in the design process. I promise you I'm going to get it done this year. Hopefully with this month would be great, but I will put on the internet right now that I will get it done before halfway through the year. So before the end of June, I will get it done, because I want to get it done. That's one of the samplers that I definitely want to stitch. I've got notes. These are notes of just stuff that I want to do as well, and that's blog post ideas, which is kind of boring, and oh my god, and there's more notes of things I want to do. I've got lots of ideas, and like I said, because I'm starting to find those creative juices actually flowing a little bit better, fingers crossed that I can actually do something about it. I want to move quickly into haul that I've gotten. So I mentioned a couple of FlossTubes ago that I went on Etsy and grabbed a couple of Stitchy things, and I've received 2 of the 3 shipments. One of them I shared about in the last FlossTube. I did actually place another order since then, and I got some really nice beechwood hoops. So I've got a couple more, and I've already used one. I used one on this piece, but they're super nice. I am a fan of the bamboo ones, but I feel like I need to step up my game a little bit more when it comes to my finished pieces. And I'll still use the bamboo ones for things like the giveaway winner, where they didn't pay, which is fine. So I'm not going to waste my current stock that I have. And another example is the test stitches that I do. I'll use bamboo stuff for that. But the wooden ones I want to get into using, and just they look like that looks so much nicer with a wooden hoop than with a bamboo hoop. I'm trying to believe in myself more. Anyway, so I got those hoops. I got the other stuff that I talked about last time. I can't remember what it was now, but the other thing I got was the stuff that I got sent to my mum, which is the the Ort holder thingy. So I've got one in my car. That one's gonna live in my car, but I do have the other one, which is currently going to live with my Pretty Little Cities, whichever one I'm working on at the time. But basically it's this. It's this little compact thing, and then when you want to put something in it, you open it up and it's got all your oughts in it, which there's like 3 little bits in this one, but my one in my car is like full. But yeah, so you put your oughts in it and then you twist it and you squish it in. This one's a little bit tighter. You squish it in and then it's this little compact little thing, and they don't go anywhere, and it's cute. And that's my phone telling me I gotta go soon. But yeah, so I got that and I love them. I think they're awesome. And that seller is in Australia, in Victoria, which is, yay Victoria. So it actually got to my mum really quick, and she was putting together, I already mentioned this, but she was putting together a care package to send over, and she just chucked those in too. So saved me on shipping, which was great. I actually took a video of a lot of my haul that I got in one go, because I kind of did some retail therapy earlier this week. I will put the video over this where it has floss, it has more floss. I can't remember what else it has. I got some Stitchy washing tape came in it as well, which is super cute. That'll be used in my book. And what else was in it? Other bits and pieces. I don't know. That's why I took a video. I got a new jar, which is off screen now, for my anchor threads, because the other one that I got only fit 3 in it and I have 4. So I got a new jar, and it has like some other flosses that I've been gifted over the years that are really unique, and I feel like I could use in something. A lot of the gifted floss I have, I give to my kids because I'm not really a fan of non-DMC floss. But yeah, that's why I took a video. So I got stuff. I got that, which is off screen. I got a new bigger ring light for this and for recording reels, and it's bright but it's super helpful because it's on its own stand. You have to attach it to a PowerPoint, which I thought the cable would be a bit longer, but what can you do? I did get a new microphone for this as well, but I didn't have time to set it up and test it, so I will be testing that before next FlossTube. The other stuff that I got is not Stitchy related, which is fine. So I just did a little cut and went and got my kids from school, and before I left I found this. So that's for the progress for this ornament that I've done so far. I was right, it was just hair and a couple of little details that I'll need to do and the decoration around the edge, and then that one will be all done. So I just wanted to share that. So the last thing I want to talk about is just real life stuff. I survived the week of no school. It felt like probably the longest 11 days I've had in a long time, and that's purely because the girls were really cooped up and kind of anxious about what was happening to my husband, because he was really sick. And excuse the background noise.
Yeah.
You want help?
Yeah. We'll go back outside today.
I gotta do stuff, and then we can for a little bit.
You can.
You're welcome. I just helped my oldest. I've lost where I was. Real life stuff, yes. So I'm pretty sure last time I talked about the fact that my husband was really, really sick. I am happy to say that he's on the mend, finally. He started back at work. He works from home, but he started working back again on Monday, and he's been taking it really, really slow. He kind of pushed himself a little bit too hard the first 2 days, and he's had to reel it back in like majorly because of that. But I'm super glad to hear that he's feeling like he's on the mend again, because that was tough and scary. In the end, it's suspected that he just had a a really bad response to the COVID booster, which is nerve-wracking. And he's going to be getting some more tests done.
Mom, here, coast.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you.
Good girl. I lost where I was because I was helping her again. Yeah, he's got to have some more tests done to make sure what it was exactly, because we don't really know, but he's been able to come down off a lot of the medications that he was on, and he's able to actually sleep, which is always nice. Yeah, it was a bit scary, and it was very tough for the midwinter break because all the girls wanted to do was play with Dad, and I was having to like corral them away from him so that he could try and rest and not exert himself too much. And yeah, it did snow during the break as well, which was nice. That was a good distraction for a little bit, and the girls were excited to go and see the local playground covered in snow. And it was a bit tough for me because my toe, as you all know, I broke my toe last year, and it's still healing. The cold really makes it flare up again in pain. So yeah, everything is happening, and everything is a little bit annoying and crazy and not great necessarily. But the girls are back at school all this week, which is awesome. The big positive about them going back to school was that the whole week that they had off, both of them were just gagging to go back to school, which is awesome. I love how much they love school, because I didn't really enjoy it when I was a kid, as much as I can remember anyway. There's a lot of stuff going on that I'm having to organize, just regular things like cars stuff, and we had house cleaners yesterday come, which was yay, so awesome. So I had to get ready for them to come and clean, which was basically just still fixing the disaster of a house that the girls had left over the week they'd had off. Today we got the last packages, finally got a new couch that I ordered back in, I think, October. That has arrived, and we've just got to build it now. I am very excited to have a comfortable couch downstairs for the first time in this house. It's just going to be so nice. The couch that we bought for like $200 through, I think it was Home Depot or some ridiculous place that shouldn't sell furniture, in my opinion, has not held up very well, as you would expect for that kind of price point, and has been the only place to really sit downstairs that isn't a dining chair. So this is a welcome addition to the house. I'm excited. Being an adult is silly. But the other thing that's coming up in a while, it's like 50 days-ish, is I have a kid-free trip organized to go to the East Coast, and I'm excited, and I'm getting to meet up with two of my friends that I haven't met, but I've known for almost 8 years, and I am, just looking forward to it a lot. I haven't had a kid-free day, let alone night, and it'll be 2 nights. I haven't had that in almost 3 years. So, but I've been watching plane prices come down from, it was going to be like, they were initially $500+ for 2-night return, which is just not acceptable. But then it was about 2 weeks ago actually, the prices drastically dropped down to what they should be, which is like 150-ish. So I quickly snapped tickets for myself, and that means it's actually happening, and I booked a hotel, and I've been looking at things that I can do to just amuse myself, because I had to get, there was only 2 options for flights out from Seattle to the airport. I can't remember which airport it is, but basically the one that's closest to the event location that I'm meeting up with my friends to go and do. It was the cheapest one. There's like 3 airports in the area and the other 2 were really, really expensive. So I'm rambling a bit, but basically I could have either flown like first thing in the morning or late in the evening for both directions. So the thing that made sense was to have a really long trip rather than feel really rushed and potentially miss flights and all of that. So in a nutshell, I'm going to have a lot of spare time, which is very welcome. And I will have to plan stitchy stuff that I want to take, because I know I'm going to at least want to stitch on the plane. I am sure that I will do some stitching at some point during the time that I'm there, because I'm super introverted and socially anxious and all of that, and I know that having something like that, even just in my bag, is going to be very welcome. So I'll have to plan what I'm going to stitch, whether that's an order or something that I have at the time, or I'll make some patterns for myself that will eventually go onto my website that'll need test stitching. And yeah, I got so many things to think about, and it is a nice distraction and it's a nice thing to be excited about. That's definitely happening. Like I'm excited to eventually go back to Australia, for example, but there's no concrete event of that happening in a long time. And it will happen. Like, we're definitely going to go back. We have to go back because we have to do visa stuff, and it has to be in the country that it originated in. And so for us, that's Australia. It's just, we have to organize it around school now, and we have to organize it around my husband's work, and we have to organize so many other things on top of there being a pandemic still, although a lot of people are ignoring the fact that it's still around. The point of that ramble is that's going to happen, but there's nothing planned for it. So I can be excited about the eventuality of it happening, but this trip that I'll be taking next month is definitely happening. So I'm really excited about it. But anyway, I will leave that there. I don't think there's really anything else to share. My trial of doing 2 reels on Instagram a day was really difficult in the second half of February, mostly because my husband was sick and my kids were at home, and it was just harder to record reels, to bank them up and save, and then actually find time to like edit them and do the captioning and all of that. So there were a few days where I only got 1 reel, but I did manage to do a reel minimum a day for the whole of February, which I think that means it's been 4 months or maybe 5 of doing a reel a day, with only missing like less than a handful of days where I was just too busy to post anything. Yeah, my desire to do more reels is still happening, still successful. I never really like set a goal of I wanted to do it for X amount of days, or I really want to do this and I'm going to make it happen. Like, it just sort of organically happened. But it does seem to me that a lot of people are realizing how much Instagram Reels helps you get exposure on the platform, because I am noticing a big dip in view counts and like counts and all of that. But it has definitely made some kind, ignore my eldest in the background, she's chatting to her nanny on her Kindle. What was I saying? I've noticed that Reels has definitely started to actually build a little bit of a community for me, which is awesome. I'm like noticing more frequent commenters on my posts, which is nice. I don't know how to handle people flat out telling me, I want to be your friend, in like DMs, and that's happened a few times. I'm just sort of like, okay, and then I don't know what to say. So if you're watching this and you've done that, please don't take offense. It's all me being awkward as hell. So yeah, that's a learning curve. I don't know how like famous actors and stuff handle social media. I barely get any trolling at all or negative comments, and I'm like overwhelmed. So, but for posterity, I will quickly check my account. I, as of recording, have over 4,500 followers now, which is just, oh my gosh. I've been taking a screenshot of my follow account at the start of every month this year because I am super curious about how much that changes over the course of the 12 months. But I'm now realizing that I'm just rambling. But yeah, if you're interested in me chatting about behind the scenes Instagram stuff of my account, let me know in the comments. If you have any patterns that you'd love to see, even if it's just like elements, because I actually do have almost a new decor element design pattern that's ready to go on my website, hopefully before next FlossTube. I just need to, there's a cat doing something behind my computer. I just need to do a couple of like tweaks to the final PDF, and that'll be good to go on my website. And that one I have sat on for a while, and I don't understand why, because it's awesome. I think it's very pretty, and I think it's, well, I think a lot of my stuff would be really popular, and the things that I think are kind of meh in a way become popular. The prime example is my Celeste font. I considered not even posting that back in the day. And the things that I think are super helpful or really pretty kind of flop. So hopefully I'm not jinxing it, but I think it's very pretty and I think it'll be very helpful for people. So I'm excited to get it up and show it off to you guys. But anyway, like I was saying, if you've got ideas or wishes for patterns, hit me up. The last thing I want to mention is I want to expand my portfolio when it comes to wedding stitch people portraits. So I've made a call out on Instagram, and I meant to do it on Facebook and Twitter, but I haven't because I neglect those, and I apologize. But if you have or will be having a wedding that has non-traditional outfits, such as this, where they're just in nice clothing. I've done a couple, especially since COVID started. I've done a couple of wedding pieces and engagement pieces that have people in just nice clothes. So I'm looking for that in traditional wedding outfits. And when I say that, I don't mean your average white dress, black suit. I mean like, what was the examples I gave? Indian, African, Japanese, Scottish. Those were the 4 that I suggested as ideas on Instagram. So those kinds of outfits. So that's what I mean by traditional. If you've had a wedding that involved that, let me know. Or I realized the other day that I have no LGBTQ plus portraits at all. So I have also added in that to the 3 like that I'm looking for. If you've had a wedding, or as I said, are having a wedding that fits one of those criteria or multiple of those criteria, please hit me up. I will be doing a decent discount for you to get a finished piece. You just need to show me what it is that you have done or are having. Zoe, she's bumping my tripod. Go away. She's very excited. Anyway, let me know, because I will do you a good deal, basically. But the caveat, and this is a caveat for anyone that orders from me, but I will be posting this on my website and on social media. So if you're not happy with ordering because I'll be doing that, Not the photos, just the finished piece. If you're not happy with doing that, then ignore that and keep going. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna wrap it up there before I continue rambling. I hope that next FlossTube, I've got a bunch of new finished pieces to show and some new patterns to point out that are up on my website. And in the meantime, I hope you have some good stitching, that you get some free time to work on whatever it is you're working on. Let me know what you're working on in the comments. Hopefully you don't have what happened to me 2 weeks ago where I had to unpick a whole lot of work. And yeah. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.